Okay, match point number 3. Coco Gauff to serve. Down the tee? No. I thought it was an ace for a second, but no. Second serve. Forehand return from Ostapenko. Forehand Ostapenko. Not bad from her, pushing Coco on the defense, but Coco's been really good on the defense today, to be fair. She's just defended long enough and then basically waited for an Ostapenko error. Ostapenko hitting the ball sweetly during this rally, to be fair. Nice backhand there, but Coco's equal to all of these shots so far. Oh, it's a winner from Coco Gauff. I didn't see that coming. I just saw Ostapenko freeze, probably knowing that she had no chance with that one. So the match is done. Damien, just bring yourself in whenever you're ready, and we'll have a chat.
I am ready.
Cool. Is it as simple as some decent defense from Coco, solid, not too many unforced errors, and then let Ostapenko do the rest?
I was actually expecting that you were going to say, is it as simple as, Ostapenko throwing everything out? And I was going to say no, but then you added the Coco defense beat, and I think that's fine. That's that's actually a fine summary of the match then. Coco definitely is an incredible athlete. The way she was able to make Ostapenko play one more ball is impressive. We often say that, like, her, maybe Świątek also, whom Ostapenko played in the previous round, are like among the best movers on the tour. They are better at certain different things, right? They're not exactly the same when it comes to the footwork. And I think today, definitely we saw that, Świątek wouldn't be able to make Ostapenko play one more ball. Also didn't really try. She kind of tried to out-hit her. Whereas for Gauff, it was also, of course, easier because, Ostapenko just had a horrible day at the office. She's never had even a little bit of a plan B, She obviously she doesn't have that. We all know that. And she did well to work with like what Ostapenko threw at her. She didn't need to do more. There were some moments where she certainly could have served better, but Ostapenko missed 7 second serve returns in a row. It felt like I'm probably not right with this. It was probably like 6 out of 7, 5 out of 6, but not something that she can really afford to do in a matchup where this is supposed to be one of her main strengths.
Of course, Coco is on a run now of 10 wins in a row, dating back, of course, to Cincinnati and going back to Canada before that. In fact, probably if you add Washington, it's probably like 1 loss in about 16 matches, which is pretty good. What do we make, though, of Coco just staying solid, not getting maybe distracted by other things? I mean, she obviously had 1 or 2 issues serving it out there. What a transformation, by the way, in Coco compared to where we were at 6-8 weeks ago with her going out in the first round of Wimbledon. Is it just all the Brad Gilbert effect? Is it lots of other things going on? Is it Coco's forehand is not so bad right now? Is it a bit of everything?
Yeah, we chatted about this, and I said I remember that she got a lot of confidence out of that US Open warm-up swing, and she's using it in a great way because she's using it to basically figure out whatever happens in her matches. If there were some issues like against Zygmunt when she was getting rushed, Zygmunt going to the net. If there was a match against Mertens where she just wasn't playing well. If there was a match against Wozniacki where there was a lot of I guess discussion between even her and her team, right? In terms of what she should do and how she should approach that matchup. She actually finds the right answer herself against Wozniacki. Today, she just does whatever was necessary. And I think this is maybe something that has not been seen, obviously coupled with the fact that the forehand is not as much of an issue as before. And that's how we've been seeing her do this. I think before the slam, on one of these shows here on the channel, I said that there is a semi-slam final coming for Coco soon. I don't know if at the US Open. Turns out it is at the US Open. Since, of course, she kind of had it a bit easier with Świątek going out. But, even if she played Iga, she would have been a formidable foe for her, I think. And it's a shame we didn't get to see that much because it would have been more interesting.
I know. I saw 1 or 2 people in the live chat were kind of saying, "Oh, all that match against Iga for this." But that is kind of the deal with Ostapenko in a way. You take the glory, you love the big hitting and the shots that she makes, But you also know there's also a chance in the next round she's going to go out 0-2.
Yeah, that's exactly what we know of Ostapenko, and what she can do. This was really a round that I think really exemplified her qualities as a player, and her play style. The fact that she played 4 deciding sets to get to the quarterfinals. The fact that she had, I don't know, this match against Avanesian, right, where she led 5-2 in the second and third set. She ended up, of course, winning that, but it was like a huge thriller. The fact that she beat the world number 1, the fact that she was incredible in that third set, for example, and like just completely overwhelmed Świątek, and then goes out and loses a match where, she just comes out, has no rhythm, horrible day at the office. She's unable to finish off points also because of how well Goff is defending. And then there's no plan B. But like that's something, as you said, that's something that we knew that was going to happen if something like that comes up, right? If she had like maybe even some semblance of a B game, she perhaps could have done something here, but she doesn't, and that's kind of the magic of Ostapenko as well. That's simply the characteristics, the traits of her playing style. That's what we, I guess, love or hate her for. She's already won a slam, obviously, so she is doing something right, and obviously she's been a top player for years, even if not a top player per se, as in top 10 ranking for years. She is always there, lurking as a potential contender to go on a deep run when she manages to link a few good performances together. This run, I guess she had 1 or 2 great showings, maybe against Paulini, or definitely against Świątek. Then she won a couple of tougher matches, and today was just a big disappointment, but not for Coco Gauff, obviously.
Are you regretting changing your mind at the last minute from Coco to Iga in terms of your tip? Do you remember you said to me, didn't you? You said just on the eve of the tournament, I think you were going Coco, and then last minute in a bracket or somewhere else, you said.
But that was like when we were talking with someone else and we were picking our favorites. I basically said that there are 3 for me: Sabalenka, Gauff, and Świątek, and you can basically choose whichever. So that's how I felt. I basically did not have an edge for either player. Maybe for Gauff it was a little tougher because she potentially had to play both Świątek and Sabalenka. Obviously, Iga in the same sort of situation, but you would assume that for her it's not that much of an issue. Whereas for Gauff, you would assume it might be a bigger problem. But like for me, these were all basically interchangeable. Rybakina, I remember saying that like because of her health was not really a main favorite for me. It turned out that wasn't the health that eventually got her. And I did think, of course, Pegula was a little closer to these top 3 women, but all of them like basically interchangeable before the event for me. Right now, you kind of have to think of them as the 2 main favorites. I mean, Gauff and Sabalenka, of course, the ones that are still in the event.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that, actually. I mean, so going into the semi-final, whoever Coco happens to face, but I would imagine Muchová will be a bit of a bigger challenge than Cîrstea. But whoever Coco faces, she's the favorite to reach the final now.
Obviously, yeah. It's not going to be a huge edge against Muchová. It's also an exciting matchup that I think we recently got, right, in the Cincinnati final. And just with the sort of ability that Gauff has recently been presenting to us, like of figuring things out, problem solving, you kind of have to trust her a bit more than Muchová. But Muchová has so many tools at her disposal that it would be a fascinating match anyway. Sorana Cîrstea making the semis, playing Coco Gauff. Why not? I mean, she is definitely an underrated force. Maybe this time it turns into like an even bigger run. This is her second Grand Slam quarterfinal after 14 years, right? Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, that is crazy. 14 years apart. I didn't even realize that until
Roland Garros 2009 was her big breakthrough. Then she also had in 2013 she had this final in Canada, I think, at the WTA 1000. Basically, always just around that top 50 ranking, and then potentially straight up going for a deep run if the opportunity presents itself, and it did here.
Indeed. All right, that's perfect, Damien. Our paths will be crossing again in a few hours from now. I think Shelton against Tiafoe is one we'll be seeing you again. But thanks for that little cameo. And Speak to you soon.
No worries. See ya.
See ya. And for the rest of you, tennis world.
Ready. Play.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. If you're wondering what this attire is, it's just to keep the hair out the way while I busy do some chores. Welcome from wherever you are. Let me know. I can see Max already in the live chat. I look forward to receiving and welcoming, of course, many, many more. I've got Cîrstea on my TV right now, actually. Very happy, very grateful to be here, she said in her pre-match conference. She's excited for a fun match, is what she says. So let's see if it pans out that way for her. I can see both players now on court. You will not miss a ball here with this commentary. We've got Muchová as well, seeking her second Grand Slam semi-final appearance this year, after, of course, making the French Open semi-finals. Let's have a quick look to see how each player got to the final. Muchová, for example, let's share this with you on the screen. Finally, Muchová is potentially sort of realizing her potential. She overcame Hunter in the first round with consummate ease, and then Fresh, and then Townsend. I was watching that Townsend match with great interest. The first set could have gone either way. Townsend was up a break. Then it got to the tie break, and the tie break obviously was decisive. And particularly the Sun. I believe this is Muchová's first night match, which she may well welcome, bearing in mind how much difficulty she had with the Sun that day, but then also against Wong as well. I believe it was giving her a bit of bother. So I'm sure she's pretty pleased about having a night match. Over on the other side of the court right now, she's obviously coming up against Cîrstea, who, as Damien pointed out, is in her first Grand Slam quarterfinal in 14 years. Let's have a quick look, actually, that Grand Slam quarterfinal she made. Her highest ranking, by the way, is 21 in the world, and her current ranking is 30, but she may well be pushing that upward. Yes, she made the quarterfinals of the French Open in 2009 and fourth round in Australia of 2017, 2022. So she's been there or thereabouts constantly for 14 years, regular third rounder at Wimbledon. But finally, she has made a quarterfinal again after a 14-year absence. For Cîrstea as well, I think, of course, a lot of her run was all about the win over Rybakina. I mean, Bencic, too, you could argue. Not the easiest run to this quarterfinal. And, of course, beating Bencic in straight sets, the New York kind of specialist. She's only dropped one set all tournament, and that was against Rybakina. Rybakina was a kind of lights out performance. Great to see Terry on board. It will be me alone. Hey, Jake, how are you doing? Jake, give me the thumbs up and we will share a picture of Jake hugging his dog, which he sent me a little while ago on Twitter. So with your permission, Jake, I will just give me the thumbs up or a yes in the live chat, and I will post Jake and his dog on the screen. I'm looking at the women's semi-finals, by the way. Of course, Cîrstea or Muchová will play Coco Gauff. Tomorrow's quarterfinals will be Sabalenka against Zheng, by the way, which will be live on the channel. Tomorrow, you'll have for Zheng and Sabalenka will be Srihari and Damien, bringing that match to you from around about 6 p.m. Central European time, 5 p.m. British summertime, and of course midday in New York. 33 years old, Cîrstea at 5'9". Her win-loss record this year is 23-17. And those of you that want to see Jake and his dog, boom, there we go. Jake and his dog, Theo. By the way, why Theo, Jake? Let us know in the live chat. Why is he called Theo? I think we'd all love to know why. Anyway, back to Cîrstea's run. Yeah, I wasn't able to see the win over Rybakina. I think I saw the first set, actually. Jake, not sure about Ghost. Oh, where's Ghosty? Yeah, not sure. Yeah, he could be a busy man. You never know. He moves in mysterious ways. Almost as mysterious as Jane, by the way, because Jane sort of loiters. I've got my water. Got my cup of tea in my talking tennis mug. Look at that. What do we think about that, ladies and gentlemen? Still a little bit hot to consume right now. Got my US Open tennis ball for whatever that'll need to be useful. Maybe I'll throw that at the screen if I get frustrated one way or another. And I've got my chocolate bar as well. Nice bar of Milka. We are open, of course, to... we are, of course, open to sponsorship, especially chocolate bars, I think, and tennis balls. Both are very useful in very different ways. By the way, make sure you give us a like and a follow on Facebook. There is the aforementioned talking tennis mug that we were just talking about. And in the background, you can see my US Open bottle that I picked up last year at the tournament. But yeah, by the way, we do have... if you go to the Talking Tennis website, you should be able to find some of our stuff on there to buy, hoodies and all sorts. But we don't really push it enough. I'm just so busy. Just having a quick look, by the way, at this image here of Coco flipping things. Of course, earlier on this year, Ostapenko beat Goff at the Australian Open in straight sets. Today, a very different difference. I get a very big difference. I see the first comment here, Brad Gilbert's making the difference. I'm not so sure. I think Coco is pretty much the main person responsible for this. I think perhaps she was underachieving at various points this year. Actually, let's just have, before we get back to Cîrstea and Muchová, who will be starting in about 60 seconds. Great, Jane, that you're lurking. Let's just listen to what Coco said to me in May of this year about her Grand Slam chances. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
So indeed, she definitely wants to enjoy the journey. I imagine that she is enjoying the journey at the US Open so far. Also, Cîrstea and Muchová will be enjoying their journeys, but who will be continuing on the path, perhaps towards a Grand Slam final after today? I'm going for Muchová in 3 sets. What are we thinking out there? Let me know in the live chat. Either who you're supporting or who you think will win. Did I put a poll on YouTube or not? If I didn't, I should, and I will. I don't think I did. No. Time for put a poll on the to put a poll up on the on YouTube. Who's winning? Quite an easy one. Cîrstea or Muchová. I believe it's Cîrstea, right? So I do apologize if I dip into Cîrstea. But Romania, it could be Cîrstea. Anyway, 15 all right now. I have posted, Josip also going Muchová in 3. Josip, by the way, wonderful to have you on board. Please hit that like button. Everybody who's watching now, we've got 11 people watching on YouTube. Therefore, I would like 11 likes. It is a hard one to call, Jake. But yeah, I'm going Muchová in 3. I actually find it more comfortable to choose Muchová than... Oh, she dumps one into the net. This year, Muchová's record is 2-1 over Cîrstea. They have met 3 times, which is kind of remarkable in 1 year. A 4th time right now. So Muchová does lead that head-to-head. And I think it's a 3-1 head-to-head overall. But as I say, three of the 4 meetings between the two have come this year. So yeah. Anyway, Cîrstea has taken an early lead in this game, at least. 30-15. Yeah, it's 3-1 overall for Muchová. But like I say, 3 of those matches came this year. And Muchová, I believe, is at a career high right now of 10 in the world. Muchová on the slice there, probably a bit disappointed with the amount of... Oh, wonderful forehand, though. I was about to say maybe a bit disappointed with the net coverage, as in, I don't know how to describe that, the gap between the ball and the net, you know, when it goes low over the net. And because when we say net coverage, we more or less think about, you know, covering the net, as in Stefan Edberg just doing it better than anyone else. Adrian, I cannot share the live stream. All I can do is paint the best picture I can with my words. But Adrian, it would be great if you hit the like button all the same. What a shot, Terry, indeed, that forehand cross court. You've got Muchová win the title, Josip. That's a brave call. Did you make that call at the beginning of the tournament? 30-40, by the way. Did you make that call at the beginning of the tournament, Josip? Oh, Josip, have you subscribed, by the way? Because we're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. We are small. I recognize that. There are bigger fish in the sea. But getting to 3,000 will be a wonderful milestone. And you can help us by hitting the subscribe button just below my face or just below the screen. Anyway, 30-40. Muchová, I don't know if she's a subscriber, but she's subscribing to the idea of her reaching a Grand Slam final again this year. They're on the backhand now. And she's broken. It's a break for Muchová already. I think that may help influence some people's ideas in the chat. Great, Josip. You subscribed at the beginning of the tournament. Wonderful. Net clearance. Thank you, Terry. Terry, maybe you should come on and do some comms. Maybe alongside Shrihari. Joke. Just a joke, Terry. I'd love to know what that debate is all about, Terry. Muchová is appearing in her 5th Grand Slam quarterfinal and first at the US Open. Yes, so she's completed the set now, has Muchová. Across all 4 Grand Slams, she had reached the other 3 quarterfinals, but had yet to reach the quarterfinal until now in New York. And that's the thing. She is a jack of all trades and all surfaces. But is she a master of any of them? I would probably think a natural surface is more likely, but who knows? In 4 or 5 days from now, I may be eating my words. Nick, by the way, he brought us a commentary earlier of Djokovic and Fritz, and he will also be bringing you the women's final on Saturday. The women's singles final, that is. A wild forehand there from Cîrstea. Gonna have a little bite of my chocolate. Let me know if you've got some munchies. I agree, Josip. I agree, but I just think her weapons might be suited to clay and grass a bit more. But hey, what do I know? She's in a very good position right now in her career, that's for sure. She just needs to stay injury-free. I mean, there's so much talent there. Nice forehand. Cîrstea can't live with her right now. Oh, really? Terry. I think her variety makes her sort of a Jabeur-esque and therefore more suited to the natural services. Excuse me while I munch on this chocolate. Oh, that's good. Funny, I love chocolate. I went about 10 years of not being bothered by it. As in, like, kid loved it, of course. But in my 20s, I was not really a dessert person. Now, I cannot resist. With a cup of tea, it's just glorious. An English cup of tea, that is. 30-15, wonderful backhand winner there from Cîrstea. Get voting in our poll as to who you... Dark chocolate is a good option. I mean, it's the healthier option. And I know Jack, fellow of this parish, is a big fan of dark chocolate, Josip. First serve into the net for Muchová. Oh, what a winner, Karolína Muchová. Take a bow. Wow, wow, wow. The first serve will be served to you at 11:30 a.m. UK time, 12:30 a.m. Central European time tomorrow. The first serve will be Jack and Mario. If you're wondering what the first serve is, it's our look back on the previous day's tennis in New York. Really, you're not sure why people like Cadbury's chocolate? I love it. I mean, this is not Cadbury's, this is Milka. Oh, by the way, we are open to Cadbury's and Milka and other chocolate brands if you wish to sponsor the show. Even just by giving us free chocolate, that wouldn't be too bad, at least for starters. 40-30 here on the Muchová serve. And she goes out wide, and it's an ace to win that game. Nice one, Muchová. She is at a 2-love lead. I do think a semi-final between her and Coco would be fascinating. I'm actually pretty pumped as well for tomorrow's quarterfinal between Zheng and Sabalenka. We're going to be bringing you that on the show tomorrow, so make sure you tune in for that. Muchová here, great defense from her. Not a great volley from Cîrstea. Not a great volley from her. And not a great start for the Romanian. How's our poll doing? And by poll, I don't mean Damien. Cîrstea's on 62%. What about that? Let's turn up for the books. Good defense there from Muchová. It's just kind of a nice backhand from her. She is in charge. She is feeling good. Love 30 now. Love 30, ladies and gentlemen. A chef's kiss. I'm not quite sure what that means. Josip, would you like to elaborate? Would you care to elaborate? Cîrstea is sponsored by Duracell. Fingers crossed she has the energy tonight. For those of you in the chat that were suggesting it was too close to call, well, right now, that's a good first serve, though, from her, so it's 15-30. Right now, it doesn't appear such a tough call. It was a lovely drop shot, Terry. How many likes are we at on YouTube? Post in the comments. I want to be at least, I would love to be at 11. I mean, like I said, we had 11 people tuning in. So it'd be good to be at least in double figures anyway. Okay, backhand return. Cool, that was excellent depth there. I think that may even have, talking of kissing, kissed the line. 15-40 now. Muchová is threatening to go up a double break. And at the moment, this is as one-sided as the women's semi-final from earlier on today. Forehand return. Oh, wow. It's gone long from Cîrstea. And Muchová breaks for 3-love. Wow. Okay. Now, time for you to listen up, because for those of you just tuning in, I do want you to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Sit back, relax, make yourself a cup of tea, a hot drink, or something much cooler. Perhaps if you're in a different time zone, maybe even a beer or whatever. And let's have a quick look at Nick's power rankings ahead of the tournament. And now we can look back and see how that panned out. 3-love Muchová leads. What do you think about those power rankings now? I think they were fair at the beginning of the tournament. Yeah, indeed, Max. She just couldn't do it, could she? Did not get off the ground, Josip. Well, this one's heading the same way, to be fair. So, as I said to you, we've got this match. We've also got to bring you Ben Shelton against Francis Tiafoe. That'll be coming up after this match, basically. And, of course, that will be brought to you by Damien. By the way, I saw that Taylor Fritz described his performance today as it sucked. And I think that's fair. Oh, lovely passing shot from Muchová. Her performance is not sucking. That is for sure. Yeah, I'm just going to post in the live chat the link for Ben Shelton against Francis Tiafoe. So that's the link. If you open that link right now, you will then be able to come and join us and just leave the window open and you'll know when we go live. Okay, here we've got Cîrstea, seeing that one land in. Did that land in? No. 15-all. I was going to say she just gave up on it if it did land out. That was close though. I thought it did land in. Yep, close indeed. Close, but no cigar. 15-all on the Muchová serve. Okay, Muchová to serve into the forehand of Cîrstea. Now on the forehand of Cîrstea again to the backhand of Muchová. Both right-handers, of course. Muchová cross court to the backhand of Cîrstea. Now mixing up Muchová. Muchová in charge once again, although she squanders that advantage by putting a forehand into the net. 15-30. Yes, Terry, I agree, but honestly, just... Yeah, he lacked conviction, is what I said earlier. I don't think he ever truly believed. I mean, he was up in so many rallies, and then you just thought, he doesn't believe, does he? He had so many break points in that third set, for example. And he was a threat on the Djokovic serve. And Djokovic was not at the races today, but he does what he does. Okay, second serve down the tee. It's a good second serve from Muchová. Forehand Cîrstea to the backhand. Muchová, that slice is beautiful. Lovely slice again. Net clearance, low. Oh, too low on that occasion. We've got 2 break points now for Cîrstea. You think so, Josip? I'm not so sure. I think Shelton might be the more difficult one. Although I'm just going Tiafoe over Shelton. It's really too close to call, I think, that one. But I'm just tipping Shelton. I'm just tipping Tiafoe because of his experience. But anyway, 15-40 here on the Muchová serve. So things are a little bit interesting now. Muchová comes into the nets. Not a bad volley. Smash is good too, 30-40. It's the first time I recall her coming into the net. She came into the net a lot against Taylor Townsend. And maybe probably shouldn't have come in so often because of the sun. Fritz can't buy a top 10 win, and Ostapenko can't buy a first serve. That's the tale of the first two matches. I mean, Fritz beat Rafa last year, and Felix at the ATP finals. I mean, I know Felix is where he's at right now, but he was top 10 then. Anyway. Forehand return from Cîrstea. Forehand Cîrstea to the forehand of Muchová. Good depth there from Cîrstea. Muchová just picking up the pace. Wow, that backhand down the line. Could be, Terry. Could be. Could be, especially with the pressure, home crowd and all that. But he might rise to the occasion. For those of you just tuning in, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I wonder if we're at 2,900 subscribers yet. We're at juice here, by the way. We are 11 subscribers away from 2,900. So therefore 111 from 3,000. Advantage Muchová, by the way. So game point for here, and that's the first game point of this particular encounter, or this particular game, I should add. Yeah, I remember it too, Josip. I think 2020, just before COVID hit. Yeah, 4 sets. And also, I think one of the sets towards the end, maybe the final set, was super close. It might have been a tie break. Fritz beat Nadal last year. He did, yeah, at the ATP finals. Oh, yeah, Fritz also, Tiafoe beat Nadal last year, yeah. An off-color Nadal, let's say. Ooh, that's a loose forehand there from Muchová. So we're back at juice. It was a hot day. Where in Australia are you, Josip, by the way? Sydney? And what time is it there right now? I guess it's about 11 a.m., 11:30. That's just a pure guess, by the way, 11:36. Okay. To the forehand. Oh, she's coming into the net, but that's a tricky volley, and it's landed out, I believe. So we've got an advantage for Cîrstea. She came in for the serve volley. Did not work. Okay. I've been to Melbourne a couple of times. Oh, 9:37. Okay. Yeah, I've been to Melbourne. I've been for the Formula One and the tennis the same year in 2006. So in the Formula One, I think Fernando Alonso won that Grand Prix in 2006, if memory serves. What I can tell you is I remember the tennis with much clarity, and that was I saw Sammy Stosur, who was a new kid on the block at the time, play Martina Hingis. I think Hingis won in 3 sets, but I could be wrong on that. But I have even more clarity. Oh, Muchová comes into the net. Don't forget she's facing break point here. That was a really tough volley for Muchová. Boy, is she talented. Fingers crossed that strapping on her arm, though, is not anything to worry about. Wow. I mean, that smash was tricky. Most players would let that one bounce. Anyway, yeah, so 2006. And I saw Tommy Haas fight from 2 sets down against Roger Federer. 2 sets down, 2 sets all. And then Federer won the 5th. 4th round. Melbourne, 2006. That drop shot didn't work from Muchová. And Cîrstea punished her. Break point. Why is... what's that dialogue between the Cîrstea and the umpire? I didn't see that. We're back at juice, by the way. This is turning into an epic game. Probably will have a huge influence over who wins the set. I mean, if Muchová wins this one now, after saving all these break points and double break advantage, you'd fancy her to go on and win the set. Cool, Josip. Tell me some of your memories. Forehand return from Cîrstea, forehand Muchová to the forehand of Cîrstea. They're exchanging. Oh, she's tried to change it up, Muchová there. And she's gone well long. So we've got another break point for Cîrstea. Good serve there from Muchová. Again, getting her out of trouble. £111 mph. Back to juice. It was a great serve, Terry. And a nice serve there as well. Maybe Cîrstea finishing could have done a little bit better. Wow. How old is that? How old is that ball girl? Surely she's over the age limit. Okay. I think chocolate's done. Yeah. Done. For another day. Remember that Novak story from 2012 when he went like 6 hours of Rafa and he won the Australian Open? And he said he treated himself to a small piece of chocolate. Hey, Layla. Oh, double fault there from Cîrstea. Untimely. This game is 11 minutes old. Juice number 6. Who's winning, Layla? Who are you supporting? Yes, we will be bringing you Shelton Tiafoe. Layla, look, here's the YouTube link, but we'll be on what do you call it? On Twitch. We'll be on Twitch as well. So that's that. But that's the YouTube link, Layla. But yeah, we'll be on Twitch for Shelton and Tiafoe. You want Sorana to win, do you? Are you from? Do you have any Romanian blood? I mean, Fernandez, if that is indeed your surname, sounds Hispanic to me. At the end of this game, I've got a little thing for you. I'm going to show you a picture of Jake's dog, Jethro. Theo, sorry, not Jethro. Oh, Cîrstea. Went for the passing shot, didn't work, hit the net. Juice number 7. I'm sure we're over 12 minutes now for this game. Got to double it and add another couple minutes before we get to Novak Carlos Wimbledon game territory. Okay, where are you going with this serve? Into the body. Nice return, though, from Cîrstea. And she comes into the net, does Muchová. Oh, what a passing shot, Cîrstea. I mean, the volley had a lot of depth on it. It was a tricky volley in terms of it coming towards her body. You're from France, are you, Layla? Cool. Yeah, I know. By the way, this is our Facebook page. We sometimes post things on there as well, so please come and visit our Facebook page. Give it a like and a follow and all that other jazz. Regarding jazz on Arthur Ashe, it is a breakpoint again for Cîrstea. Okay, this time. She's ready for the forehand. She ran around that. She was prepared. She's attacking this point is Cîrstea. Bringing it. Oh, Muchová thought about coming into the net and chose not to. Goes for the drop shot. Doesn't work, but nor does the backhand cross court from Cîrstea on the retaliation. So we have juice number 8. "14 minutes. Yeah, I'm not so sure, Layla. I'm not so sure. I could be wrong. I think Muchová is the more obvious semi-final opponent and the more obvious player to cause Coco problems. I still think Coco would be the favorite. But if Coco plays... Oh, because this time it's Muchová going long again. So it's another break point for Cîrstea. Feels like a Rafa game. Why is that, Josip? 27 minutes on the clock, but well over half of the match has been this game alone. 26 minutes, I think, in answer to your question, Matthew. 26 minutes. That's a good question, Josip. I wouldn't be surprised if the women's semis start around 5 o'clock on Thursday and just sort of have them back to back. But last year they were actually no, maybe even a bit later. Last year they were always that so moonball from Cîrstea, moonball from Muchová. Have that one. Backhand Muchová down the line. It's a winner, and we're back at deuce. Josip, yeah, maybe, especially Cîrstea, you mean? Although both players are doing so. Who takes longer to serve, do you think? Novak or Rafa? I'm tempted to say Novak, but I'm sure it's a close call. I think Muchova's going to win this game. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. But we are sort of heading towards 20 minutes. Yes, I see what you mean with taking her time with the serve there, Muchová. But Cîrstea is not exactly moving quickly. I mean, obviously, it's not her responsibility to go quickly. Backhand to backhand right now. And Muchová goes into the net again. Yeah, I would suggest it's Novak. I mean, just bouncing that ball and yeah, just feels... I don't know if you've ever seen that clip on YouTube of him just bouncing the ball and Federer's waiting to return. Okay, 13. And are they constantly 13, Josip? I think she will try to match the intensity, but I do think Sabalenka will win. But I know what you mean, Layla. Yeah, I think he could. I think he could. I mean, there are other players in the draw who I think Novak was probably fortunate not to have on the same side. Medvedev, Sinner, and Zverev spring to mind. Medvedev being the main one. I mean, basically, Medvedev was the key to the success or otherwise of the draw for... we've got a break point here anyway. They're in the rally. I should get back to the match. Oh, Cîrstea will be disappointed with that backhand. Oh, okay. Okay, Josip, I was buying it. That's for sure. Okay, we're back at deuce. Deuce number 10. Don't forget, of course, Cîrstea had 2 break points at 15-40, and that included a really, really difficult smash for Muchová that she put away. So she won 2 points in a row there, Muchová. Can she win 3 in a row right now? Because obviously she won the previous point after Cîrstea netted as we head towards 20 minutes for this game. Good return from Cîrstea. Backhand down the line from Cîrstea. Has that gone wide? I think it has. It's a close call, but it is advantage Karolína Muchová. Is this the moment? Yeah, I know, Terry. So do I think Shelton could pause? Yes, I do. But you need just sort of oddballs. You need crazy ones. You need your Karatsevs who will just hit the ball lights out for 3 hours and maybe cause Novak trouble as he did once in Belgrade. You don't want... what's going on? Oh, Cîrstea nets, and we've got the game done finally. 4 games to love. Finally, Cîrstea gets over the line, and she didn't have many game points. It was just 1 break point after another. And we are at 4-love for the Czech number 10 seed. Matthew there in the chat, by the way. Matthew's going to be bringing us the match tomorrow night between Marketa Vondrousova and Madison Keys. I'm really looking forward to having Matthew's first commentary for us. I'm sure he'll be bringing plenty of energy to that affair. Fireworks could be occurring on the court too. I mean, Vondrousova in particular. Vondrousova. I mean, Vondrousova perhaps, but Madison Keys in particular with the home crowd, and as she continues a pursuit for her first Grand Slam title. Of course, she was in the final in 2017. Yes, it was 2017 against Sloane Stephens in that All-American final in 2017. And Muchová smartly lets that one go. So we're at 15 all now. Yeah, Novak's journey has been pretty comfortable. But it's also down to Novak just being much better than Taylor. Other people may have found Taylor Fritz more difficult, although maybe not Taylor Fritz in today's form. Indeed, it is like a tennis factory, Josip. Josip, by the way, what's your background? I mean, you're near Melbourne, but Josip Pijača kind of sounds Slavic, dare I say? 30-15 now on the Cîrstea serve. She's doing well here. She's dominating this point, and she's won it. 40-15. Croatian. Yeah, that was one of my possibilities in my head. So were you born in Croatia, or you have Croatian ancestry? 2 game points here for Cîrstea. Oh, double fault. 40-30. Here's a reminder. Give us a like or a follow on Facebook, please. Also on Twitter at Talking Tennis TT and Instagram. All of those. Plus, we'll be bringing you, of course, Ben Shelton against Francis Tiafoe. So make sure you tune in for that too. Anyway, back here on Ash between Cîrstea and Muchová. 40-30. Ah, okay, Josip. Do you speak any Croatian? And am I saying your name right, Josip? Oh, Muchová, forehand winner down the line. Clenched fist. Listen, there's been some super close games, none more so than that last one where Muchová held serve. But despite the intensity and the tightness and the length of this set, which is well over half an hour already, we still might get a bagel. Okay. Down the tee. Backhand return from Muchová. Backhand slice from Muchová. Forehand. Now, good cross court there from Cîrstea. Cîrstea, they're a little bit cautious, but the lob did not work. Oh, it did. Oh, it did. It landed in. Wow. In which case, that was just sensational for Muchová. Well, it was close. And there, Cîrstea must have just looked at that. Look at her face. Oh, poor Sorana. Okay, backhand to backhand. Break point now for Muchová, but she's gone long. Listen, Cîrstea deserves at least a game. What a lob. And thank you, Josip. I'm saying your name perfectly. What a lob, Terry. Okay. Okay. Backhand return, forehand return, but it's on the defensive. Backhand from Muchová. Forehand now to the forehand of Muchová. Forehand switching it up now. Backhand slice. Low net clearance. Low net clearance for Muchová. And Cîrstea goes long. That variety, the lob, the slice, the backhand, the forehand, there's barely a weakness to Muchová's game. She's so clever, as you said, Josip. Another break point. The return's not bad either. And Cîrstea gets frustrated and she puts a backhand wide. I need to take a quick breather for 90 seconds, and we'll be back to bring you what could be the final game of this first set.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Indeed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and also a like on this video too. I can see we're at 11 likes. Let's try and get to 20 as soon as possible. I've also got the poll going, so please give that a vote too. Oh, Layla Townsend, and it looks like their run is at an end in the doubles. Layla and Townsend, Layla Fernandez, of course, and Taylor Townsend. My kettle is just about to boil, so I'm going to make a dash for the kitchen, but fortunately it looks like people are still arriving as Muchová serves for the set. Cîrstea wins the first point, but I can't tell you anything about it because I was in the kitchen retrieving my tea. So listen, Cîrstea deserves a game. That is for sure. Okay, love 15, Muchová serving. Oh, and what a return from Cîrstea, love 30. Remember the last service game for Muchová, 15-40, after a couple of minutes, 20 minutes later, but they were still playing. Okay, Muchová serving. Down the tee, it's an ace. It's an ace, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, let me know what you think about this in the live chat, but I have one tea bag left, okay? So, this last cup of tea, I kind of recycled the last 2 tea bags, if you follow. I hope that none of you are offended by that. I say 2 tea bags. I had a tea bag and then a previous tea bag in there. I don't know how you feel about that. Maybe it grosses you out. Let me know what you think in the live chat about that. Oh, that was a chance for Cîrstea on the return. 30 all. Bouncing the ball. Bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. 30 all. 2 points away from a bagel first set. Clips the net just as well for Cîrstea. That clipped the net because it would have been a difficult return. Okay, Josip. Thank you very much. Okay, first serve goes long. So we've got a second serve here for Muchová to look at. Sorry, for Cîrstea to look at. Okay, forehand to forehand. And the forehand from Cîrstea goes long. And we have a set point. Terry, you don't drink tea. Terry, you're in the UK, right? You're in the UK and you don't drink tea. At least I think you're in the UK, Terry. I could be wrong. I think it's time to close the poll, by the way. Set point here for Cîrstea. We'll close it after this point, potentially. Sorry, set point for Muchová. Set point Cîrstea. That would be a hell of a turnaround. 40-30, Muchová leads. Oh, dear, Medvedev. That's not good, Josip. I think de Minaur lost it as well during that match too. Okay, nice forehand there, but it's not doing enough damage from Cîrstea. Good depth though there from Cîrstea. Oh, but then she's hit the net, and the first set is indeed a bagel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a short break. We'll listen to Coco Gauff and her chances on winning her first Grand Slam. We spoke to her earlier on this year. When we come back, it looks like Muchová is going to take a timeout anyway. When we come back, we'll have a look at some stats from the first set. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. Mm-hmm. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Mm-hmm. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Okay. So that's Coco Gauff, of course, who overcame Ostapenko with in straight sets today. Djokovic also going through in straight sets. So the quarterfinals thus far have not really grabbed our attention in terms of excitement. Overall, I would say this tournament as well hasn't quite lifted off the ground in the same way that the last two versions of the US Open did. I should probably listen to this. Hit the ball, the coach says to Cîrstea, hit the ball. Yeah, I just thought I'd have a quick listen to that. There's Cîrstea and her coach having a quick dialogue there. And basically the coach was saying, step in, step in. The player was not quite so convinced about that particular tactic. So I thought I'd have a quick listen to that. One way or another, indeed. Okay, time to close this poll. Understandably, Muchová has the advantage in the poll, so it's time to close that one. And maybe if I get time, I will consider another one. In fact, it's quite easy. I've got an easy one now to put in as a new poll, and that is who's winning the US Open on the women's side? Who's winning the US Open? Sabalenka. Gauff. I'll go Muchová. And I'll go other. There we go. So, new poll, ready for you to vote in. Who do you think is winning the US Open? That is there for you to have a look at. Sabalenka and Muchová already getting a vote each. Oh yeah, no McEnroe on commentary this year. I was only became aware of that today. I think Hanlon told me in the first serve this morning about that. Yeah, so no McEnroe. Yeah, got COVID. Anyway, I said I'd bring you some stats from the first set. We're still waiting for Muchová to return. So we can, 4 minutes and 10 seconds, by the way, since the last point. Let's just have a look at some of the stats on the US Open website. 2 aces for Muchová and none for Cîrstea. Doesn't really tell us a lot, but and a double fault each. Let's have a look at some of these first serve stats, though. Winning just 33% on her first serve, Cîrstea. That will be disappointing, as they show a replay of a chat between the umpire and Cîrstea as well. Cîrstea seems to be... I think it's about the time taken. Cîrstea is not a happy bunny right now. I think she's upset about the amount of time taken right now by Muchová. And what are we at? How long was it since the last? It must be a good 5 minutes. Don't know. Anyway, over 5 minutes. Back to the stats anyway. Cîrstea there, as I said, 0 aces. But yeah, first serve points won, 33%. Cîrstea is prowling here, waiting for her opponent to return. Here she comes, Karolína Muchová. Oh dear. That 0 from 9 stat on break points as well. I mean, most of them would have come in that one game, of course. Yeah. So there are the stats. You can make of them what you will. Of course, the most important stat of all is the fact that Muchová won the first set 6-love. Oh, is that what the disagreement was about? Cîrstea not ready to receive. Is that what it was about, Terry? I just turned it up at the last minute. Josip saying he's missing Cilic, yeah. Missing John McEnroe, missing Cilic. What's the umpire saying? Okay, just some, I guess, some interference. Cîrstea to serve. She lost the first set 6-love. Desperate to get on the board. Forehand return. Backhand now Muchová to the backhand of Cîrstea. Forehand Muchová. Low net clearance there. Muchová. Good depth there from Karolína. Slice from Muchová. Forehand Cîrstea is big. And it's good enough. 15-love. Josip, is that a question for me? How long have I been into tennis? If it is, I can answer it. I'm going to answer it anyway. Over 30 years. I mean, the clue was a little bit there when I said I was in Melbourne in 2006, which is 17 years ago, almost 18 years ago. Down the tee from Cîrstea. Goes wide. Backhand return from Muchová. Forehand Cîrstea. Quite a big forehand. Cîrstea comes towards the net. Doesn't put it away, and she gets punished for it. Too cautious, that forehand at the net there. Everyone can answer this. What about you, Josip? How many years have you been in tennis? Lovely backhand down the line, but she should never really been given that opportunity. Cîrstea letting Karolína out of jail there. Mid-80s. So I guess, Josip, you are in your early 40s. Is that fair? Who was your favorite player in the 80s? Some moonballs here. Oh, that's wild from Cîrstea and frustrating. She did the right thing coming into the net. She did exactly the right thing, but she didn't need to hit it that hard. She's not really turned up thus far, but as I say, I don't think that 6-0 scoreline is too fair on her. Lendl. I was never a Lendl fan, but then I don't think a lot of people were, but maybe that's a UK thing. Backhand return, forehand cross court, and now it's on the backhand of Muchová. Backhand Cîrstea, forehand Muchová, winner 15-40. A reminder that we have Ben Shelton against Francis Tiafoe coming later on. So please join us for that. Also, we can check us out on Facebook as well, and on Instagram and Twitter at Talking Tennis TT. Okay, 15-40. Goes long on the first serve, Cîrstea. I mean, 7 games in a row would be harsh on Cîrstea. Run around forehand return. Forehand Cîrstea is pretty big, but not big enough. The backhand is big enough, though. Yes, 30-40. I'm surprised you're a Rafa fan, Josip. Okay. Mine would be Becker. I mean, historically, I don't look back on Tim Henman as my, one of my favorites, but I must confess at the time I was a Henman fan. So yeah, I have to include him on my list. Becker, Henman, Rafa. I guess that's my list. On the women's side, I more or less supported the players against Steffi. Nothing against Steffi, but, given her success, especially at Wimbledon, I tended to support her opponent. I was desperate for Jana Novotná to get her title and was so pleased when she finally did. Cîrstea's, by the way, saved another break point, so we're at deuce. Agassi 92. What a Wimbledon run that was. Yeah, Agassi probably ranks among my favorites too, albeit that when he played Becker, I was supporting Becker. Cîrstea, please win a game, Max says. Backhand there from Cîrstea, winner. So she has a game point. Yeah, Sean, you're in the UK, right, Sean? So, like me, you'd have just been really all over Wimbledon. That was about it, really, on BBC. I remember coming home from school very disappointed if it was raining in London and just waiting and watching replays of old matches while they waited for the day to go. And they'd come back every hour or two and say, still raining. Occasionally, you'd have Cliff Richard on the TV singing. By the way, Sean, did you see the interview? And Josip, by the way, this is both of you. Did you see the interview I did recently with Michal Stich, the 1991 Wimbledon champion? Wow, good defense there from Muchová. And Cîrstea wins a game. Cîrstea is off the mark. Boom, boom, boom. One love for the Romanian. The comeback is on. Here we go. Josip, yeah, and to Sean and to anyone, by the way. Yeah, I interviewed, you might know him as Michael Stich, and I asked him at the beginning of the interview, can I call you Michal or Michael? And he said, whichever. I don't know if you remember, he won it in 91. Yeah. Also, Tony Nadal, Josip, we've been interviewing players left, right, and center. Coco Gauff, Avanesian. If you know who she is, she played in the second round and she lost a really close second round match to Ostapenko. We have a good interview with her. We also interviewed the men's French Open singles winner recently, Emilio Gomez. Of course, his son is on the tour right now. Who else have we interviewed? We interviewed Pam Shriver a couple of times. We've spoken to Renee Stubbs. Tony Nadal, as I said, and I'm missing many more. Liam Brody, friend of the show, of course. Laura Siegmund, we interviewed her in May this year. Yeah, me too. And that was a large part of our interview. If you go to our YouTube page, but do it another time when we're not doing a watch along, but go to our YouTube page and just click on videos. And it was on the eve of Wimbledon. And by the way, people, Michael and I both tipped the same person to win the men's singles title. It's in the video. Okay, 15 love on the Muchová serve. Forehand return. Oh, and by the way, my US Open tips pre-tournament also are there in video, in black and white. I recorded those videos a couple of weeks ago, or just on the eve of the tournament. I tipped Sabalenka and Carlos Alcaraz to win the US Open men's and women's singles. Curious. Okay. By the way, I also tipped, and it's out there, the evidence is there, I also tipped Sabalenka to win the Australian Open. Oh, look, it's Emma Watson. I think her name's Emma Watson, isn't it? From Harry Potter. Oh, she's next to that Wintour. Oh, dear. From Vogue magazine. Okay, backhand return. Backhand from Muchova's into the net. So we're at 30 all on the Muchová serve. Interesting times right now. Yes, Emma Watson is indeed in the crowd. I wondered why she was wearing those unusual clothes, let's say. It makes sense now seeing her. No. Yeah. Have you seen the film The Devil Wears Prada? I've not seen it, by the way, but I'm aware of the narrative. I'm aware that Anna Wintour's not a fan. Good serve from Muchová, forcing the unreturnable, so it's 40-30. Which one was your favorite? I'm going to go with the Agassi book being your favorite, Open. I don't think Novak's had one, has he? I would love to write one on Jana Novotná, but it's getting the time. I've written a book, though. I've written a book on Ferguson and Manchester United. If I remember, indeed, yes, it is. If I remember, during the next changeover, I will go and get my book that I penned on Manchester United. Okay, forehand here to the forehand of Muchová. What a great defense from Muchová. She's still chasing it down, but not enough in the end. Wow, deuce. I thought you'd say Agassi. Josip. Oh, we've got 20 people now watching us over the various platforms on Facebook, Twitch, and on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, please click the like button. Please, we need likes. It helps the algorithm and it helps people find us. Because if people don't find us, we're in trouble. Muchova's in a bit of trouble right now at deuce on her serve. Good first serve, though. Muchová comes into the net and puts away the volley. Her volleys, by the way, are pretty good, right? I haven't read it, but of course I know the story, so yeah, Sellers. How many Grand Slams could and should she have won, by the way? If you're watching on YouTube, of course, you should also subscribe so we can get to 3,000 subscribers as soon as possible. I see Anastasia on Twitter talking about the sweat box, so I'm guessing she is referring to just how hot it is there on Ash. Anastasia, of course, lovely passing shot from Cîrstea. There's a tweet there from Anastasia, our person on the ground in Ash, just talking about how hot it is there. By the way, make sure you give us check out our Facebook page. I'm just sharing with you right now. Also, Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is at Talking Tennis TT. We'll never know. It certainly could have been a lot closer. How many? I'm going to guess Monica Seles won 14 slams, and I think Steffi 23 or 22, maybe 22. Oh, wow, a lot less. 9. Sorry, Monica Seles won 9. So that is quite a big gap then. It is quite a big gap between her. Obviously, 22 for Steffi Graf. It would have been more interesting anyway. And certainly there would have been perhaps a year of dominance or two from Sellers, but it never, unfortunately, came to fruition. Back at deuce, by the way, on the Muchová serve. Oh, we have actually a break point now for Cîrstea. And they're just showing that stat, 0 from 9. And it's now 0 from 10 because Muchová goes long. We're at deuce. Are we involved in another epic game? We've only had 7 games, and yet we've been here an hour. Over an hour, actually, I think. We only had 7 games. Yeah, an hour and 3 minutes. We only had 7 games, but we also, don't forget, had a pretty lengthy break, probably about 6 or 7 minutes, as Muchová went off court at the end of the first set, purely for a change of clothing, to the best of my knowledge. Anyway, they exchanged forehands. Now on the backhand of Cîrstea. She's mixing up a little bit. Lovely slice there. A little bit high net clearance, though, from Muchová. And as a result, Cîrstea forces the error from her opponent, and we have another break point. Her 11th of the match. Anastasia is there a lot. What we'll do is at the next changeover, I will play you Anastasia's latest video from the US Open. I'll play that to you as a nice little gift, and I'll run off and get oh, are we going to get a break point? A break? We have got a break of serve. Cîrstea breaks serve for 2-love. So yeah, boom, boom, boom. We had 6 games in a row for Muchová, and now we've got back-to-back games for Cîrstea. And finally, she breaks the Muchová serve. 2-love. The Romanian leads. Yeah, so at the next changeover, I'll play Anastasia's latest video from the grounds of Flushing Meadows. And I don't know why I put this voice on. Nice forehand there from Cîrstea. That smash was tricky, though. And Muchová is making her work. Is she going to lob her? Oh, Karolína. Slicker than a Formula One tire. Wow. I mean, what makes it even sweeter is the fact that sort of Cîrstea, given the way she hit that shot, was kind of bending down. And so it was kind of like Muchová just being so clever. Backhand Muchová, forehand Cîrstea. Backhand now Muchová, forehand Cîrstea. Good. Sorry, forehand Muchová, and it's forced the error, love 30. Muchová wants to be like Star Wars and strike back. Oh, nice, Josip. We've had a lot of fortune, I would suggest, but maybe deserved, I don't know, whatever. Regarding press accreditation this year, we've been, where have we been? We began with a challenger in Germany back in February, I would say, more or less. And then after that, we went to Estoril for the ATP 250 and ATP 500 in Barcelona, then the Madrid 1000. Then we had WTA events in Birmingham, and we also covered a challenger in Surbiton as well. And we had press accreditation for Berlin WTA 500 too. And we've also got the WTA 500 in San Diego. Vance is going to be there for us next week. So we have our people on the ground all over the world helping you get closer to the action. Closer to winning a game right now is Karolína Muchová because she has 3 break points. Love 40. It's a good first serve there from Cîrstea. Oh no, Cîrstea. No. Yes. 15-40. Terry, it wasn't intentional in terms of Robbie Koenig. Oh, we interviewed Robbie Koenig as well in December last year. We had a series called Matches of the Year, where we focused on various matches. And the rule was that I had is you had to be there at the match. And Robbie and I, we spoke about the Taylor Fritz, Rafa Nadal 5-setter at Wimbledon. Both Robbie and I were at that match. Good first serve there from Cîrstea. A nice backhand winner. Other matches that we followed from last year and did interviews for, I spoke to Blair Henley about the Kazakhina Caroline Garcia match from the WTA finals in Texas. I spoke to Pam Shriver about Serena Williams at the US Open. I spoke to Owen Lewis about Djokovic Nadal at the French Open. I spoke to Mark Petchey. He's been on the show. He was on the show talking to us about, Cîrstea goes long. She gesticulates towards her coach. Muchová has broken. And I need to stop talking about what shows we've done in the past and bring you back to the present and show you our lady on the ground, Anastasia, her video from today. I'll bring you that to you right now. So just having a quick look back on yesterday's action. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Open was the start of a heat wave we'll be getting here over the next few days, and it was hot. The juniors are now playing on the outside courts, and I started with Darwin Blanche playing his first round match against Charlie Camus. Both players are left-handed, and it was an interesting watch. A brief rain delay moved me inside, but Darwin won the match in the end. Up next was Marketa Vondrousova versus Peyton Stearns. Stearns came out firing and took the first set. Marketa looked to be struggling physically, but showed her experience and came back to win the next 2 sets. She is into the quarterfinals. Next was Rublev versus Draper. It's really nice seeing Draper back playing well, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the year holds for him. Rublev was his usual tortured self, which can be hard to watch at times, but he pushed past that to get into another quarterfinals. My surprise of the day was the third match on Armstrong. I have never watched Jeanne play, and she came out of the blocks hot, really aggressive, and even though she struggled to serve out the match, she definitely has a new fan in me. It was another packed day on the grounds as I started my last match, which was between Alex de Minaur and Daniil Medvedev. I thought we might be getting a repeat of their Toronto match, but Alex lost steam and Daniil took control to win the match. My time at Louis Armstrong is now over. Up next, Ash for the rest of the tournament.
Ash for the rest of the tournament, indeed. And that is where Anastasia is right now. Watching this particular event unfold, we have 15-love on the Muchová serve. She's just broken back. We had 6 games in a row for Muchová. We had 2 games in a row for Cîrstea. And now are we going to see back-to-back games for Muchová and 2-all? Let me know what you think. I've got a question here. Could we have an all-check final? Well, of course we could, because we have Vondrousova on one side of the draw and Muchová on the other. Do I expect an all-check final? No, I do not. A few reasons. I think Goff could be too much for Muchová. Interestingly, I think I wonder what Sabalenka would be thinking, or Sabalenka's fans, or Sabalenka's team. We've also had a regular appearance, by the way, from a member of Sabalenka's team on the show. Oh, my goodness me! Karolína Muchová, take a bow. How did she get her racket on that? Never mind produce a winner. Look at this forehand. She's almost behind her. I mean, that is Alcaraz level of spectacular. Wow. What a pickup, as Terry said. Yes, Jake, a bagel set. And you started the chat, by the way, saying this is too close to call. For me, Muchová was the favorite, but I understood why you thought it would be close. To be fair, Jake, that set was super close. I mean, we had a 20-minute service game for Muchová that included 9 break points. Or, sorry, maybe 7, whatever. Anyway, all in all, in the first set, Cîrstea had 9 break points as we get to 2-all. So yeah, Cîrstea had 9 break points in the first set and couldn't take any of them. So it does tell you, and it was also a 35, 40-minute set. So, you know, it wasn't quite Rafa Novak, that 6-love set they had at the French Open final, but it was close. And this beginning of this set has also been close too. Cîrstea getting a little bit frustrated as well. We've seen some dialogue between her and her coach, seemingly disagreeing on what should be the right tactic for this second set. Muchová occasionally coming into the net, but what is noticeable is her smashes are so good, at least in the night. I remember her struggling with 1 or 2 smashes the other day in the daytime against Taylor Townsend in particular, but that was sunshine related. Well, fortunately, no sun at night. Wise words there for you on Talking Tennis. Maybe Muchova's enjoying this night match as well, I think. I mean, it's her first night match, I believe. Backhand Muchová, forehand Cîrstea. Backhand Muchová to the forehand again of Cîrstea, and Cîrstea nets. Love 30. Is this the final act? You always thought, Josip, who was overrated? Philippoussis, was that? I need to go back in the chat. I didn't see all those comments, sorry. Smashes like Sampras. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, there was one point at 50 in that game, that 20-odd minute game, where Cîrstea, I think, had about 7 or 8 break points. At 15:40, the first of those break points was a really difficult smash for Muchová. I think most players would have just, it was lofted and it was going over her head. I think most players, particularly of her height, would have let it bounce and then tried to deal with it from there. I probably would have done that. But she believes in her athleticism, and absolutely rightly so. And she smashed it and ended up saving that break point and saving 7 more, 6 or 7 more in that game. Okay. She loves taking the backhand on the rise as well. That's why she's not, she can be deep at times, but she's not, oh, that's not the best of forehands though, Karolína. I should stop showering you with praise. 2-all, 30-all. Listen, Cîrstea holds it. Oh, I told you guys. Told you I was going to get my book in the little last break we had. Look, there's my book. Even the Defeats. How Sir Alex Ferguson used setbacks to inspire Manchester United's greatest triumphs. Maybe Cîrstea could read this in the next changeover to give her inspiration. Not that she might need it, though, because she is 40-30 up on her serve right now. (40-30) game point for the Romanian for a 3-2 lead. Of course, we've seen streaks in this match because we had Muchová winning the first 6 games. Then Cîrstea won the next 2 with an early break, but Muchová struck back immediately. And that's why we're at 2-all. Just filling Jake in on some of the details. Jake, I'd like to hear what you think about the 2 matches that we had earlier. The 2 quarterfinals. What a forehand winner that was, by the way, Juice. Yeah, I'll post it in the live chat, a link to the book. This should work. That's my book. There you go. Okay, so forehand return. Good forehand there from Cîrstea, but it's not good enough to win the point. Backhand slice, good net clearance again, although it dropped a bit short, I would suggest. And now Muchová goes long with that forehand, and we've got another game point for Cîrstea. Yeah, I like that last line as well. Djokovic comfortable without being spectacular. I would also add that I think Fritz lacked a bit of conviction today. I saw him get up in so many rallies at so many crucial moments, 15-40, 30-40. He's in the rally. He's even up in the rally. And then there'd just be an unforced error. I mean, a lot of the times when you're a bit too cautious against Novak, he will punish you. But actually today, I actually think a more cautious approach from Fritz might well have reaped rewards. Cîrstea, by the way, fist clenched and pumped because she holds for 3-2 as she picks up her even the defeats, how Sir Alex Ferguson inspired success from the depths of despair. As she gives that a quick read during this changeover to give herself a bit of added motivation to go on and break back and even up this match, no doubt. Thanks, Jake. Much appreciated. Listen, either way, just merely just tuning into Talking Tennis and sharing your words of wisdom with us, that is amazing. Jake, is it okay to share a picture of your dog again? We haven't had it on since you were last here about an hour ago. So I think it is time to have your dog on the show again. Let me know if I have your permission, and I will share a picture of you and your dog once more. Give me the thumbs up somehow. Of course, ha ha ha. Okay, cool. Jake and his dog, boom. Asleep. If that doesn't warm the heart, nothing will. If that doesn't make you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, nothing will. You'll never like or subscribe to us if you don't like and subscribe on the back of that picture. Oh, nice. And welcome aboard. Really enjoying the fact that, first of all, you've joined us for your first US Open experience, or a part of your US Open experience. Josip there bigging up the dog's awesome. Jake, back when you were young. Yeah, but how old is Theo, by the way? And please tell me he's not named after Theo Walcott. Next best thing as well. That's all I can offer you is a picture of my mug. We are very animal friendly on Talking Tennis. We have had so many appearances. We had a squirrel frightening the life out of Isabel during a live watch-along. We had a similar thing with a dog interrupting Mario's dog. That's cool. Isabel as well has brought a few cats on board. We've yet to have a lion, I will admit that, but perhaps that'll come up in our second year. We've just reached our first anniversary, by the way. We had a few anniversary videos out there in the ether, in the YouTube ether. So check out those anniversary videos. It's 15 love, by the way, to Muchová. Yeah, that is. Oh, I know which Theo that is. Isn't he a Palace fan, a Crystal Palace fan, that Theo? I know who you mean, though. That is pretty random. And you got him 11 years ago as well, Jake? All I can see is Josip is laughing, but I'm not sure what Josip is laughing at. We've not had a dragon on yet, either, on the show. But we've had a pretty good 12 months. I mean, multiple Grand Slam winners. Pam Shriver on the double side. Single side, we've had Emilio Gomez, or Andreas Gomez, sorry, Emilio's his son. Oh, forehand winner there for Cîrstea. And Michael Stick, of course. Yes, we are better, Mavi. I'm afraid I can't share exactly what's going on. I can maybe just show you a quick tweet, perhaps, from Anastasia, just to give you a bit of a flavor. But that's about all I can show you, I'm afraid. Sorry. I just do the best to paint the picture with my words. You need to go to ESPN, I believe. Where are you located, Better Maravia? Where in the world? If anyone else can help Better Maravia in the live chat as well, post where you can find it. Are you in Texas? Okay, so yeah, I think it's ESPN for you guys. Okay, 15:30 on the Muchová serve right now. So a Cîrstea break right now would be interesting. Yeah, Jake, ESPN in the yes. Cîrstea will be disappointed with that because that wasn't the most difficult return. And she put it wide, 30 all. Oh, that's nice, Josip. I would love to have Dokic on the show, and Woodbridge, to be fair. Okay, Muchová serving 40-30. Muchová backhand, cross court. Muchová backhand goes long and wide, I think. So we're at deuce now. It is a good song, but I've never met Seal. Who do I think is going to win, Jonathan? Muchová. I said Muchová at the beginning of the match, and of course there's nothing to change my mind. Nice forehand winner from her there, bringing up advantage and a game point, her second of this particular game. Jonathan, please hit the like button on Facebook, please. Okay, game point. Muchová to serve. Serves out wide, and it's an ace, and she holds. She holds serve. If I remember, I might need to be reminded, in the next changeover, I'll just show you some of these videos that we've produced over the last sort of 12 months. I'll be quick, don't worry. But we've got dozens of videos out there, including some pretty cool interviews for you to check out. But I'll do that in the next changeover. Always plenty of movement in the crowd in New York, but I'm kind of 6 of one, half a dozen on this debate. I mean, I know that people should get to their seats a bit more swiftly, but does it really matter? I don't think you should call out between first and second serves, but that aside, I mean, I'm all for a bit more, letting people. I mean, it's just people walking around. I play tennis with a train track next to the court, and it doesn't make any difference. Yes, Terry, I think Elena would be a fascinating interview. Okay, Cîrstea to serve, backhand return, forehand Cîrstea, forehand volley Cîrstea. Oh, is that landed in? It has. It has landed in, hasn't it? Wow, 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 wow. Again, the guile of Muchová, the guile, the cheek, the audacity of Karolína. And she's love 30. Oh, she's written a couple of books, has she? Josip, I didn't know that. I think Cîrstea's gone wide with that forehand, and we have love 40 now. Yay! Ben Meravia. I don't know how to say your name. Bera Meravia. He's got ESPN. Let's go, indeed. But stay with us as well for commentary, if you can. Oh, Cîrstea, forehand into the net. Forehand into the net there. And we've got a changeover. So we've got 4-3, Muchová with a break. And I said to you that I would show you some of our videos over the last 12 months, just a few bits and pieces. We've got, more recently, of course, we've got analysis of Coco Gauff's win over Ostapenko today. We had a Djokovic Fritz preview video. Qinwen Zheng, we analyzed her win yesterday, and Coco Gauff's as well from a couple of days ago over Wozniacki. We've got my US Open draw immediate reaction, just a quick 2-minute clip there. This one is for members only. You can become a member if you click below me. I think it says join just below, and you can become a member and get exclusive footage and extra perks. If you become a member, you'll get access to that. This is our chat a few days ago with the data analyst for Sabalenka and Jabeur. Really interesting about how he provides them with information and helps them get to Grand Slam finals, basically. How many slams will Carlos Alcaraz win? That's out there. We've got our immediate reaction to Djokovic's incredible win in Cincinnati recently over Alcaraz. Interviews with Andres Gomez, as I said to you, who won the French Open in 91. Tournament director Jeff Ryan from Winston-Salem. Tennis psychology as well. We spoke about that in depth. That was a really fascinating chat that we had recently. We have, of course, our ATP and WTA weekly shows, but those ones are live ones. Oh, we spoke to the guru doctor that Djokovic consulted about 15 years ago that arguably changed the course of his career. Pam Shriver's comments there on Jabeur's French Open loss. These are our anniversary videos. So much more. Renee Stubbs and I having a chat there as well. And I'm just trying to get back to that Michael Stick. There's the one with the Boris Becker documentary. We spoke to the producer of that. There's the Michael Stick interview and interviews with Ostapenko and Potapova, Storm Hunter and Alicia Parks. That's for members only. Another Ostapenko interview as well. Maria Sakkari, Donna Vekic, Yule Niemeyer. So many people. Avanesian. Look, there's me and Avanesian having a good old chat. Anyway, that's that. Let's get back to the present. And Muchová wins the first point on her serve. 15 love. Yes, Damien will be bringing you the second match tonight between Shelton and Tiafoe. I will be around as well. I won't be far away. I may be on camera from time to time. I may be pulling the strings behind the camera, but I have a few things to do as well, so I'll be doing a bit of both. But you'll hear the dulcet tones of Damien bringing you that match. And then tomorrow, the first quarterfinal, bringing you Zheng and Sabalenka will be Damien, Shrihari, maybe Jethro as well, but definitely Damien and Shrihari. And we've also got the first serve tomorrow as well with Jack, Edward, and Mario as well. So they'll be doing the first serve for you at 11:30 UK time. Anyway, loads and loads of coverage. I mean, during the Grand Slams, we're almost 24 hours. We're certainly a good 10 or 15 hours a day. That's a pretty epic point. And Cîrstea has won it. Cîrstea's probably got to break back immediately. 30-15. You're a Vekic fan, are you, Josip? Yep. I mean, some of those were, I will confess, are press conferences, but 50% of those are one-on-one interviews, like with Avanesian, Ostapenko, and Potapova. I know we spoke to one-to-one. Ostapenko, I think we've spoken to a couple of times. I spoke to her in Madrid one-to-one, and I think Nick got her on a one-to-one interview in Birmingham. Oh, net cord. Didn't work out for Cîrstea. 40-15, 2 game points for Muchová. pretty hot, even here in Germany. It's been a hot. September has actually been hotter than August so far. Forehand to forehand right now exchange, and that forehand is ugly from Cîrstea. It goes about. It was so far out, it almost landed in Philadelphia. Cîrstea to serve at 3-5. By the way, I know Jake is a connoisseur of European football. I'm not wearing a football shirt today. But I have one or two more in my wardrobe that I need to show off to you, Jake, to at least ask you if you know which team it is. So we've done FC Sarajevo and I've done Real Betis. You got the Betis one like that, to be fair. But Sarajevo, that was a trickier one. Well, I've got at least one more. I know I've got at least one more upstairs that I'll have to wear on a stream someday. Okay, 15 love. Forehand Cîrstea. Backhand Muchová. And Cîrstea goes big, and it's a winner, to be fair, for the Romanian. So it's 30 love. Ooh, nice. Plum on the line. Yeah, you did well, Jake. It was tricky, but to be honest with the main reason, I just love that color. I mean, I love burgundy, claret. That's I'm not an Aston Villa or West Ham fan, but that sort of dark red I love. Okay, Cîrstea to serve. Down the tee. It's a good serve. 40 love. She must have been wishing for a few service games like this earlier in the match. And we could have had a very, very different scenario right now. By the way, Cîrstea's shoes, they seem quite flimsy and tight-fitting, almost like she's wearing slippers. Discuss. $16 people right now watching on YouTube. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. You can also like on Facebook as well too. Net rushing here from Muchová, and it's a pretty good decision too. 40-15. It's almost a saber-like attack. Yeah, I've got another one for you, Jake. I've got another one for you. Forehand return is long, is it? Oh, it landed right on the line. 40-30. Thanks, Mac. Yeah, Max and Terry, they're responding to my Cîrstea. I mean, they do look very thin. I would hope so. Coco Muchová, if that is indeed the other semi-final. Muchová comes into the net. Now it's a Muchová smash. There she goes again. I mean, she's probably had, I don't know, 7 or 8 smashes today, and everyone has been put away with consummate ease. And Muchová, by the way, her record against Sabalenka, don't forget, this year, a couple of 3-setters in huge semi-finals. Pretty big. Although, who did Muchová lose to in a semi-final, in a final recently? Was it Coco? Or was it Jessica Pegula? Let me just... Muchová, Cincinnati. Coco Gauff, yeah. So that was their last encounter. Oh, Cîrstea. Forehand volley, drive volley. There she's doing her shoes up, of course, on her slippers. And we have match point for Karolína Muchová. Yeah, this is the match in Cincinnati I was telling you about between Gauff and Muchová that Gauff won in straight sets. I don't know if those slippers were to blame. Oops, indeed, Josip. Oops, indeed. Okay, forehand now to forehand. Remember, this is match point we're speaking about right now. Muchová, backhand. Good depth from Karolína. Forehand. Oh, it's a winner from Karolína Muchová. Wow, and I think she screams, come on. Understandably so. I mean, it's kind of been a demolition job. That first set was pretty tight. I would argue actually that in some ways the second set, there was a bit more of a comfortable gap. She punches the air in delight. Checkmate indeed, Josip. We had Jake at the beginning saying this is too close to call. I understood. I went for 3 sets for Karolína. She did it in straights. Great job, Karolína Muchová. Indeed, Terry. Like, subscribe, and share this video. I will stay. I can see a WTA official there having a quick word in Karolína's ear. I will stay live for a few more minutes because I will be bringing you Karolína's on-court interview. Karolína gives Cîrstea a clap. Cîrstea waves to the crowd, looking a little glum, as you would imagine. It's another quarterfinal Grand Slam defeat for Cîrstea 14 years after she made the Australian Open quarterfinal. Listen, the gap between her quarterfinals, this will give you something to put it in perspective. The last time she made a Grand Slam quarterfinal was when Rafa Nadal won his first Australian Open in that epic final against Roger Federer, 5 sets. Okay, Muchová's coming to the microphone right now. Let's give this a listen. She's going to speak to friend of the show, Pam Shriver.
Karolína, playing in your first quarterfinal of the U.S. Open, what a display of all-court tennis. How did it feel in a difficult evening with conditions?
Unbelievable. It's really sweet victory and this stadium, I mean, incredible. Thank you everyone who came and cheered.
First US Open semi-final for Muchová.
You're from the Czech Republic, an incredible history of extraordinary women champions, from Martina Navratilova, Hanna Malnikova, Yana Novotná, more recently, Kvitova, Krejcikova. What is it like to come from a country with such...
Can you all hear this okay?
It's big competition in Czech Republic.
Big competition in Czech Republic.
I mean, we support each other and that's very important. Marketa is here playing tomorrow. I'm very happy for her. And yeah, it's just great that we can push one another, look at each other again. Yeah, so it's great.
Obviously, your opponent in the semifinals, Coco Gauff, has had some incredible...
Can you all hear this interview, by the way?
...up to as well. What about that matchup in the semis?
Well, you know, I just finished this match. I haven't thought about that one yet. But
well, I'll give you 10 seconds. Okay, 7 seconds.
I still don't know. I mean, obviously, she's an amazing player. She has home crowd here. It's going to be very tough, but again, I want to enjoy this win, and then I'll try to put up a battle against Coco.
I want to ask you one last question about your serve tonight. The spots you were hitting, the variety, how important is your serve?
It really helped me in tough moments. I could lean on my serve, so yeah, I'm really happy with that as well.
Go hit the ice bath and enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go all in. Thank you.
All in, Karolína Muchová.
There we go. Karolína Muchová into her first US Open semi-final. I'd be keen to know her thoughts on that 20-minute service game she had in the first set as well, and how crucial that was to sealing the first set and also the match. I mean, I know it was a 6-love set, but I think that was at about 3-love. I don't think so, Jane. It's a good question, but I've done it many times before. I think it's more of an issue with the visual, I think. But fingers crossed they don't, Jane. But I have done it many, many times, and I've yet to be punished. So, Terry, big thanks as well. I do just want to tell you about our next stream, which of course will be for Ben Shelton against Francis Tiafoe. So please come and join us for that. Damien will be bringing you all of that action. And yeah, more tennis to come. So see you on the other side. And by the way, you know the drill, by the way.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on this surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, you know, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, you know, everyone is could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and you know, if the destination gets there, that's great.